Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the 2024 NFL Draft. Now, unfortunately, again, we don't know if we're going to be able to get that quarterback that we actually want here, but we're hoping that they're going to actually be able to slip to us here. Now, we're gonna let them kind of sit on the clock here because I want to think through a couple of our potential picks. Now, all of the mock drafts said that the Giants were going to end up taking Boyce, which they ended up doing. I feel like we do need to end up trading up, though, to be able to get our other quarterback. But again, it didn't look like anyone was really going to take him, aside from potentially the Saints. So maybe we're going to have to trade with the Chargers here. Now, they need some defensive linemen. Let's see who we have that we would actually be willing to get rid of. I don't think I really want to get rid of either of them. Don't really want to get rid of Aaron Donald. We can definitely give them one of our defensive linemen, though. Now, it sucks because Vea is our fullback as well, but we can draft a fullback. So we're going to throw Vea in there, and I want to see if they would actually trade him straight up. I would doubt that they would do that for the first round pick, but let's give it a shot. Hey, but you know what? Again, we're actually pretty close here. You know, the funny thing is, if we actually give up a third round here and they actually take that, we would have the 5th and the 7th pick. We would actually be able to get a quarterback as well as Crutchfield. So let's see if they'll take a third rounder. Well, how about this? 3rd round next year and the 7th round this year. And there we go. And that is how we get 2 first round picks now. That took a little wheeling and dealing, and we got rid of Vea, which is unfortunate because, again, great defensive tackle fill-in if one of our other guys is injured, and also a really great fullback for us as well. However, expendable when it came down to it. And even though we gave up a 3rd and a 7th round this year, and a 3rd round next year, we get a 2nd first round this year. So I think we're actually going to have that chance to be able to get Forbes as our, hopefully, franchise quarterback. The Texans end up picking Hartwell. That was kind of expected. And now it's the Bengals. I don't think that they're going to be taking a quarterback because they do have Burrow. And they did leave the quarterback on the board for us. So let's go. 5th round pick. We knew we had to do this because we wanted to make sure that it wasn't going to be the Saints getting our other quarterback. Because unfortunately, Rick Boyce did end up going first. I didn't want to give up the assets to be able to get the number 1 overall pick. So let's make our selection. And thankfully, that trade ended up working out. And we can now take, for the 5th overall pick, quarterback out of Clemson, Frank Forbes. Looks like he's going to be pretty good for us, in all honesty. He's got decent speed. And look at those results in the combine as well. Looks like a pretty good athlete. His injury's at a D, so he is kind of susceptible to some injury. His accuracy does leave a little bit to be desired, but that's okay. Because you know what? I think we can definitely mold him to being a better quarterback than he looks on paper right here. And either way, anything's better than Lane Johnson at this point. So, again, 5th overall pick for the Bison. We got Frank Forbes, who is a normal development. That is not great right off the bat for us. And, oh well. But he has a strong arm. He's got a 95 throw power. I appreciate that. We can definitely work with that for sure. But hey, you know what? If he has some better games over the course of this season, that is a very good possibility that we could actually move him up in development trade. Yep. And there we go. Kind of like what we expected. The Saints were going to end up taking a quarterback. They ended up going with McLeod. So we knew they were going to end up taking Forbes if he ended up falling to the 6th pick. So now we have the 7th pick. Now, let me see something quickly. Let me see what offers that we have for the number 7 pick. We can actually trade down to the 30 pick and get a 1st round next year, along with a 2nd round next year, and a 4th, and then a 7th round this year. Guys, that is a major haul for the 7th pick. We can go Seahawks, get a 1st round this year, and then a 1st, 4th, and 5th next year. With the Raiders, we'd get the 17th overall pick, along with a 3rd round, and then a 5th and a 7th. The 5th coming in 2026, and then the 7th in this draft as well. I actually might take that one from the Raiders. The Lions actually give us some pretty good value here too, because we get a 1st, 2nd, and a 7th in this one. So if we're really looking to bolster our roster right now, the Lions one would probably be the one to end up taking. And unfortunately, I don't know what the draft class is going to be like next year yet. So it's not like I can say that a 1st round next year is going to be great. Really realistically, let's talk this out. Is the 7th round this year going to be better than a 4th, 5th, and 6th next year? I think not. We're going to go with the Eagles here. It's going to give us the most assets here. We're going to get 2 picks that are actually pretty close to each other in this draft. as well as 3 picks in the next draft. And we can use those as bargaining chips. We can use that as just picking 3 great players next year as well. So we're going to be trading our 7th overall pick over to the Eagles for the 29th overall, the 38th overall, and then 3 picks next year. Again, I feel like getting a late first round, early second round is going to be worth a high first round for what we need. I think it's going to offer more value over time. So we're going to be accepting that offer from the Eagles. The Eagles, with that 7th pick, though, end up taking a left guard, Matt Watford from Washington State. And we got the Vikings on the clock. They end up taking a right end. The Patriots take a defensive tackle. Next, we got the Bears, who end up taking a right end as well. A lot of linemen coming off the draft board here. And yet another one over to the Falcons as they take Brandon Binns. Next, for the Titans, end up taking right tackle Mitch Moses. Another defensive lineman, Deshaun Green from Penn State. And now we come to the Rams with the 14th overall. And they end up taking Gabriel Crutchfield, one of the guys that we were looking at getting, but again, someone I was not incredibly sold on, which is why we didn't use the 7th pick to be able to take him. And again, I think the assets that we ended up getting for him were definitely worth it. The Cardinals take a defensive tackle, Will Ford. The Bears up on the clock yet again. End up taking Jack Goldman. They're really taking a lot of linemen here. They're really trying to bolster their defense, and totally understandable too. It's what the Bears typically do. Now the Raiders end up taking left tackle Keenan Conrad. Let's see, Cardinals take Jay Farrell, right end from Clemson. Wish we could have paired him up with Forbes because they're Clemson teammates, but that's okay. The Packers end up taking strong safety Spencer Nelson. Tight end Ben Evans came off as well. That's a little unfortunate. I think that's the first receiver to come off the board now. Matt Levine, 21st pick over to the Steelers. Now with the Lions, they end up taking Jaden Kidd, right outside linebacker. The Jets end up taking Kendall Adams, defensive tackle. The Seahawks end up taking defensive tackle Will O'Neal. Cowboys take right tackle Mason Meltzer. And we just got a couple more picks until us, but let's see. We got the Bucks, who end up taking left tackle Chris Toomer. You got the Jags ended up taking Morgan Turner, cornerback from Rice. And now last pick before us, the Chiefs end up taking halfback Quincy Hewitt. But let's see, 29th overall pick, that is us. So let's see, who are we going to end up taking here? Now let's see, plenty of options. There's Nathan Gabriel, someone that we really wanted to end up taking. Question is it worth it to take the receiver off the board right now? Or do we look to something like cornerback? Honestly, we'd probably go for Brandon Bennett here. I feel like we can wait on the safeties, especially free safety. Corner is something that I don't think we can really wait on. But I think I'm going to wait to see if we can get Brandon Bennett, because we're only like 8 picks away from another one. Now, I feel like Nathan Gabriel could actually be a really good weapon for Forbes. So I think we might actually go receiver here. Catching traffic A, catching B, deep route C, release A to C. We don't know that quite yet, but if you look at his combine results, man, he actually did really well. That broad jump, he really improved on the college pro day. And a 4.39, under a 4.4 on his 40 ain't bad. And not bad, he's got some really good strength. So I think this is who we're going to go with. Again, we're going to look to corner on the next pick. But for now, with the 29th overall pick, Bison end up taking Nathan Gabriel, receiver out of Alabama, 6'3", 230, with a hidden development trait. That is awesome. And look at that. 90 acceleration, 92 agility, 93 change of direction, 89 jumping, 92 speed. Dude's going to be a beast. 73 strength. We'll definitely work up on that. Don't worry. But, man, this was definitely a really good pick for sure. I am super excited to actually get to work with him, and let's see if we can make this kid a star, huh? Yep, and actually Kenny Jackson went next off the board, so it's a good thing we ended up picking him, or else we would have ended up losing out on him. And then Jonathan Porter was right after that as well. So 2 receivers off the board right after that, so we ended up taking the right pick there. And I think we ended up getting the best one that was on the board as well. Let's see, last pick of the first round. The Niners end up taking left tackle Mason Williams. And now we get into the second round, where we will have the 6th pick here in the second round. And now we are back on the clock, and like I said, we know what we're going to be trying to get here. It looks like 3 of the next 4 guys are going to be free safeties according to the big board. And yeah, again, Brandon Bennett is still there, and I feel like he would be the best one to end up selecting here. Again, there are a couple free safeties still on the board that I think we could probably pick up with our next pick. We might have to trade up, but I will be okay with that. Again, we have a lot of picks in like the 5th round that we can end up kind of trading away to try to get a higher pick. But we'll see here. Let me see. Brandon Bennett, though, again, looked pretty good. Had pretty good combine results. Can't jump for shit, but that's okay, though. We're not going to worry about that. We don't even have a free safety on our active roster now that I'm looking at it. Hold on one second. We may be changing our mind here. Wow, dude had a great combine. But again, that's just combine results. It doesn't mean shit when you get in the game. Well, kind of. Terrible zone coverage and man coverage. And then Poindexter. Only because I love the name. I love the name. So he might be someone that we end up picking up anyways. Same type of thing, in fact. Not great, but definitely better than good old Artie Smith here. Let me look at Max Houston one more time, though. And you know what? I will say, I like that bottom thing right there. Shows good discipline and won't get flagged much. I appreciate that. And again, this dude just looks so good. I feel like this could be a really good guy for us. So I think that's what we're going to do. I know I said we were going to go corner, but we do not have a free safety on our active roster. So we definitely need to draft there. And I think Max Houston is definitely the guy to do it. Kind of funny. He went to Texas Tech. His name is Max Houston. Would have been funnier if he actually went to Houston. But he is now going to be a San Diego Bison. Another hidden development trait for him. And my goodness, look at those stats for a free safety too. Got the 88 acceleration, 91 speed, 90 agility. Absolutely love that. Got an 88 jumping, only 70 strength, but again, something that can be developed as well. Love this guy. This is going to be a lot of fun, man. We got a couple of good guys here that we're going to be developing. Obviously, our quarterback is a normal development, which is unfortunate. But these last two guys, I think, are going to be a lot of fun. Ooh, all right. Teague came off the board. I think I'm still safe until I see another corner come off the board. I think we're going to be all right. Some tight ends coming off the board now too. It's going to be another position that we're going to have to look at. Again, I kind of want to get McLean. I think he might slip, because McLeod should be the next one to come off the board, in all honesty. I'm going to take my chances. I don't know if I like that, but I'm going to take my chances. Okay, there goes McLeod. And there's our man McLean. Guys, I think we might have to trade up so we can actually get McLean here. I do not want to see him come off this board. Let's see if we can call up the Patriots here, and let's see if we can make a deal. I want that third pick. And for that, I will give you our third round pick. And how about pick 151 as well? How do you feel about that? Yeah, I didn't think you would enjoy that, but it was worth a shot. Let's do that, and let's also throw in that 7th round next year, too. We're getting there. You know what? I know, I lowballed you, and I'm sorry for that. We're going to have to give him one of our better 5th round picks, I think. And let's get him one of our 4th rounds next year. Maybe that'll do it. Yeah, because we really need to trade up and get a corner here. So let's give up our 3rd and then our 5th this year, and then we'll give them a 4th round, our latter 4th round next year, and let's see what they say. And they accept. Let's go. I know we gave up a couple of picks, but in all honesty, it's worth it to be able to trade up here and be able to get our cornerback here. We needed to do it because I thought he was going to come off the board sooner rather than later. So I know it's not the cornerback that they were expecting us to take, nor the one that I guess we were expecting to take either. But with whatever pick this is, the 9th pick of the 3rd round, we're going to be drafting Julius McLean. Of course, only normal development, but cornerback out of Arkansas. Maybe that's the problem. Not bad. 95 acceleration, 90 speed, 86 agility. We'll take that, but that strength is pitiful. 56. We're gonna have to get him in the gym for sure. Again, not a great pick, but in all honesty, definitely an improvement over what we have. So the positions we're gonna need, we're gonna look for a strong safety, another corner, and then we're also going to look for another receiver, tight end, and a potential halfback as well. And then we need a kicker and potentially a punter. So that's 7. That's a lot. So let's go. Time for us to make our selection. Again, I said we needed a tight end, and that definitely is such a true statement. He's a terrible run blocker. Holy cow. Look at this guy. Dude, he is an athlete. You know what? You convinced me. Tremaine Jefferson, congratulations, man. 4th round, 20th pick. Tremaine Jefferson is going to be the next one off the board to the San Diego Bison. And another hidden development trait. Let's go. That is our 3rd one of the draft here in 5 picks. Unfortunately, it wasn't our quarterback, but hey, we'll take our tight end, our receiver, and our safety? I think it was our free safety. But let's go. Tremaine Jefferson is 75 strength, but that 83 speed, 89 acceleration, not bad for a tight end, 90 jumping, 87 agility. Looks like he's going to be a good player for us as well. Not a bad draft so far. I'm appreciating this. But let's go. We are on the clock now. 5th round, 7th pick. Again, we have a lot of things that we still need to pick up. We did get our tight end. We got our quarterback. We got a receiver. I feel like our offense is pretty set. We'll end up getting a halfback in a bit. But again, we ended up picking up a free safety. I think we need to look to cornerback yet again, or potentially free safety as well. Let's look at Torrey Greenard here. Strong safety out of Syracuse. Not great in zone coverage or man coverage, or a great tackler. I wonder how he's up here. Maybe that's why he ended up dropping. All right, so we got Greenard or we got Keegan Benford. Not gonna lie, I like this Keegan Benford guy. I think we're gonna go to him, in all honesty. We're gonna go with him. He's in normal development. I understand that. I didn't have a great feeling about the other strong safety. I didn't feel like, and I feel like there was a reason why he dropped so far. But either way, man, we're going to pick up another strong safety. It's going to be really good to kind of have as someone to kind of develop behind our strong safety right now, who actually developed into a pretty good one as well. So he's going to be back there. He might not start right away, but you never know. So let's go. We have a plethora of picks here, man. We have 2 picks coming up in the next 5. So let's see. With this one right here, I think we're really going to have to look. I want to look at what's best available right now. Again, a bunch of receivers up there. Torrey Greenard still kind of falling there. We do need another corner, in all honesty. That is really going to be an important position for us. That is something we're really lacking. So I think we might need to look to corner. So let's do that. Looks like we have a couple of them up here. Donovan Sims looks like he could be pretty good. Looks like a good man-to-man. Terrible in zone coverage. Tavares Porter would definitely fit our scheme a little bit better, but again, he only does that because we had to change our scheme for the players that we ended up having in our system last year. I think that's definitely going to change this year once we get different skill set out there. That'll be all right, though. In all honesty, I like this Donovan Sims guy. He had some really good results. And man, he looks like he could actually be a pretty good corner starting opposite. So let's go. We pick up Donovan Sims and we get another hidden dev trade. Let's go. How did he slip this far down? But let's go. 93 speed, 92 acceleration. That strength, again, leaves a bit to be desired, but a good man-to-man corner. Again, we might actually have to switch schemes a little bit here. Another hidden development trade. I think that's our 4th one of the draft, and we're starting to look good. We are really filling out this roster. All right, we actually have 2 more picks this round. So let's see what we can take off the board here. Again, of the things that we need, we're going to need another receiver, in all honesty. We can look for another corner, we can look for another safety, and then again, we need our kickers too. I feel like we can actually hold off on the receivers then, because there's so many to select from at the top here that I don't think that it's going to be worth one of our higher picks on that right now. We can save that for one of the later 5th rounders. We could use another free safety, though, in all honesty. This James Stroud guy actually looks pretty good, but so does Dylan McLeod. But didn't we already pick up a McLeod? In all honesty, let's take a flyer on Dylan McLeod here. Never mind, looks like we got a middle linebacker, baby. Looks like apparently we didn't get that in time. So unfortunately, we got something that we didn't need. Well, that's okay, though. You know what? We have something to I guess, develop back there. We didn't need a middle linebacker, but if we end up losing someone in an off-season next season. So that's my bad, but oh well. I thought I had time. There he is. There's our good buddy. Again, I said that's who we were going to take that flyer on before. In comparison, I think he's going to be pretty good. Actually, no, this gives me more time to think, actually. I have 50 seconds. Here's the thing. We're gambling on his zone coverage versus Stroud's man coverage. I don't like, you know what? I'm sorry, I'm convincing myself. I don't like the fact that we do have a guaranteed D for man coverage for McLeod. So I'm gonna actually switch my thought process, and we're gonna go for Stroud on this one. Again, normal development trait, that's totally fine. We kind of figured that was gonna be the case. But again, 89 speed, 85 acceleration, not bad back there, and will be a good backup for the free safety we got earlier. All right, hold on. We're gonna have to trade because we have a couple positions to actually fill out too. So let's go to the trade center. We're gonna give up a 4th and a 5th round next year. Dolphins, here we go. I want those. Again, I know that we're kind of giving up a lot of value for pretty much nothing, but we need to fill out our roster here, and that means we need 3 more picks. I'm upset that we ended up wasting one of our picks on just a timeout, unfortunately. In all honesty, I think I may take this Christian Mayberry guy. He's got some pretty good carrying, break tackle, and he can actually catch, and that's always nice too. You know what? I think we're going to go with the Christian Mayberry guy. He's an elusive back, but he can carry the ball. I know Victor Clifton is a better power back, but in all honesty, I really like what this guy kind of brings to the table. So 6th round, 20th pick, Christian Mayberry. Come on down to San Diego, buddy. Welcome. 91 speed, 92 acceleration, 67 strength. We'll work that up, don't worry. But he's going to be a really good backup to Montez Sweat. I want to see if I can actually flip a late round next year for one more pick this year. We're going to give away a 6th round next year. Let's see if we can get their 7th round this year. Good doing business with you. Thank you. Now we have 3 picks left. Will Pugh, huh? A 5'11 receiver, huh? Be a good deep threat, though. He's got an F for catching, though. Denzel Kirkpatrick. Got an F on the catching in traffic. That's so bad. We should have scouted these guys a little bit better. Hold on now. He's a horrible deep route runner, don't get me wrong, but he can catch. He's got good release. You know what? We're taking Ernest Gary here. Normal development trait, that's fine. He looks like he can actually catch, though, and honestly, again, the way last season went with the fact that we have guys that just couldn't catch the ball, we need something like that. So we have 2 picks left now, and they're going to be back-to-back. All right, so here's what we're going to end up doing. We need to get a kicker, but I also feel like getting another tight end would be great, too. And Torrey Greenard is still there. I want to know why. You know what? I'm going to take the risk here. We're going to take Torrey Greenard with the 19th pick of the 7th round. Then we'll go kicker on the next one. I guess we're going to do that. So with the 19th pick of the 7th round, Bison are going to be going with strong safety Torrey Greenard from Syracuse. Again, normal development, but that's fine. He was projected to be a 2nd to 3rd rounder, fell to the 7th, and now, finally, on to our final pick. And on this one, again, we have to pick a kicker. BB? CA. Oh, and he went to Princeton! Well, excuse me. Mick Clements is 6'3", though, man. That doesn't mean a damn thing in terms of him, you know, but still. He's got a B for awareness. It's not bad. And Gil Kendrick has an F for awareness, which I don't think I'm going to mean too much, but Jonathan Murray or Mick Clements. Both of them are absolute monsters in terms of, like, height and everything. This guy looks like a serial killer, and we want that killer mentality on this team. 20th pick of the 7th round. Jonathan Murray, come on down to San Diego, my friend. I can't wait to actually kick some field goals this year. And there we go, and that is going to be the end of the Bison's first draft as a franchise. So let's see this summary right here, and let's see if we made the right decisions. Oof. Some of these overalls are not looking great, in all honesty. But honestly, these are all really improvements over what we had. Frank Forbes is going to be a 73 overall to start. We're definitely going to have to build him up pretty quickly. Nathan Gabriel, though, one of our hidden dev traits, ended up being a 75 overall, and again, we'll get to see what dev trait that's going to be. We got Max Houston, our free safety, 72 overall. Julius McLean, our cornerback, 69 overall. And then after that, we do have a tight end. He's only a 61, but that'll be all right. I'm still upset that we ended up taking the middle linebacker, but again, not too bad. We have a halfback that's going to be a 69 overall. Our kicker is a 68, so we're really going to have to train him up. 370 overalls and above, and then a couple of guys that we're actually still going to be able to develop pretty well. What do you say we actually take a look here at adjusting our roster? Uh-oh, we got a drop to Bosa, Parsons, and Aaron Donald. That is not good. A little bit of regression. We're going to be all right. So I'm still loving our roster. At quarterback, we are going to have Forbes starting, obviously. That's all right. We have that. No one at fullback, unfortunately. Once Tim Patrick comes off of IR, we're going to release him. We have Nathan Gabriel as our number 1. Ernest Gary, let's go, as our number 2. Then we'll have to release Virgil, as well as... Actually, we can release Kevin Austin now. But we'll also have Aiden Hutchinson and Keon White at receiver 2. But we'll just have to drop those 2 guys. Tight end will have Tremaine Jefferson, obviously. Lane's going to be our left tackle. Left guard, we got Thuney. Humphrey at center, overtaking Kelsey, unfortunately. Zach's still going to be right guard, and we got Sewell at right tackle. Left end, we still got Crosby. We got Bosa over there, too. We got Aaron Donald at right end. D tackle, we still got Williams and Lawrence. Left outside linebacker, we got Parsons. Myles Garrett at middle, as well as DeMarcus Lawrence. And then we also have Brian Hillman. Jalen Carter is going to be our starting right outside linebacker, which is great. We got Julius McLean starting at corner. Of course, someone we just drafted. And then opposite of Donovan Simmons, who is someone we just drafted as well. Free safety, we'll have Max Houston starting, and then we'll have James Stroud as the backup. And then we also have Torrey Greenard as well. And then at kicker, there's our Jonathan Murray. There's our serial killer. Let's go. I love this lineup. Dude, look at how much our team actually already improved from all of that. And again, a lot of that is due to our offensive, defensive line, and our linebackers, of course. But man, going up to an 85 overall across the board, that's going to be really great. But again, we don't know how we're going to do. Frank Forbes is not necessarily as good as we were hoping he was going to be, but he's still going to be a big step up from where we're at. So again, I'm liking this team, and hopefully, as we get into the next season, we're actually going to contend for at least a wild card spot. I think it's going to be a while before we end up contending for the AFC West. However, we should be able to potentially contend for a wild card spot, especially since we were able to go 5-12 last year with no kicker, no quarterback, or anything like that. Should be a little bit easier this year. Even if they aren't as good as we want them to be, they'll still be good enough to be able to do some of the things that we weren't able to do last year. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you guys did, make sure to drop a like. If you're new, subscribe, and we'll see you guys next time for week 1 against the Dolphins.